Hey everyone, GratuiTous here. Welcome to Make a Beat from Scratch Volume 1, where we are going to be creating an emotional rap beat from scratch. So I'll walk you through step by step how to create a custom drum loop with one-shot drum samples, as well as create our own melodies with virtual instruments. Once we go to the studio, we'll do all that stuff. I first want to start the course up here on a real piano because this is where I practice. And in all honesty, this is where I've created some of my best beats because I found my melody on this piano. Then I take it to the studio, okay? So you can see I have a microphone here, I have a mixer. Don't worry about the MIDI keyboard, I'll talk about that in just a second, but I just have two microphones, they plug into a mixer, and I practice with a drum loop. I don't always use the drum loop, I'll explain that as we go along. But this setup with headphones, I have them right here, okay? Close back headphones. This has been an amazing way to practice. Most people don't want to hear that word practice, right? But if you want to become a good beat maker, it all starts with the piano because you become super versatile. You learn to play the keys, chords. When you play your drum loops, if you already have certain, melodies going on, you can quickly improvise and add your melodies in, okay? So again, I'm going to start off this course by talking about the equipment I'm using, how I set it up. That's going to be beneficial to you to understand the workflow. One thing also just to mention, so a MIDI keyboard, the problem with it is it's really good when it connects to our computer to play our virtual instruments, but the keys are cheap. You get latency, which is when you press a key, there's a little bit of delay there when it goes to the computer. When you have a real piano, you have no latency, you get really nice piano keys, and when I record, so I'm not really recording, I'm just listening back through a mixer into headphones. A mixer allows me to put reverb on the piano, I can put delay on, and then I can plug in my drum loop. If I choose to use a drum loop, sometimes I play without a drum loop, I just listen to like the reverb piano on here, or I can do it with a drum loop as well. So the thing that I'm doing here is I'm putting myself in a real situation as a beat maker, practicing as if I was in the studio making a beat. I'm playing over what we call a click track. So just like a drum loop, all right? The drum loop should be at least 5 to 10 minutes long. So you hit play, that is 5 minutes of constant practice. If you can get to that level of, 5-minute practice, and you can kind of do it 5 minutes and then 5 minutes and 5 minutes. I usually like to have a couple different drum loops, so like a dance drum loop, a hip hop drum loop, really, really good for practicing. I'll break all that stuff down when we get further into that in this section of the course. So again, we're starting up here. I want to break down my workflow, my process, and then I will start from scratch with you guys. We will hit play with the drum loop. I'll have to improvise, so you'll watch some of that stuff. You can skip that part of the course if you want to just get right into the beat making, but I will try to make this course as raw as possible. And what that means is I'm going to try to make it where you're seeing almost everything that's going on, but I still have to make it kind of fun and engaging for you as well. One last thing to say is pianos, you can get them for free. Okay, so don't think that, a real piano, it costs a lot of money. A lot of people give pianos away for free. It's just a fact of how do you get it into your home as well as your living situation. Can you have a piano? Because they are loud. So let's move on. Let's talk about the equipment I have here for the really, really awesome workflow when I'm practicing, because you should be practicing the piano every day. Don't think you need to spend hours, but it should be at least 5 to 10 minutes a day. And when you follow my process here, it's actually fun. You get to play with effects and all that kind of stuff as a producer, all right?